Hello friends, Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at IronFactory's IFEX25 Sword of the Guardian. We're going to go ahead and start this video review off in vehicle mode because, quite frankly, I think this vehicle mode is pretty bad. It really does feel like somebody took a look at the Zeta Gundam and made a poor man's version of that. The figure is packaged in robot mode, but as I said, we're starting off in vehicle mode, and you have this jet mode that's really kind of like I understand what they're going for. They're kind of going for a flying tank type mode. And the figure does come with a couple of accessories. The first accessory being this really awesome sword. Gotta say I love the sword. It also comes with a couple of components that you can peg into the bottom here and then place on a stand. Specifically, these are the components. So one of them can be used on his back in robot mode, and then the other one can be used in vehicle mode, or you can combine the two like this and use it in either one of the modes. So we can then put it on the bottom here, and then this can attach to any kind of stand that you can find. I've tried it with a couple of my Tamashi web stands. It doesn't work because it's too big, but it is doable with some configuration and some tweaking. So you can use the little clasps that come with the Tamashi stands and just slide them right up here like that. Or with a little bit of futzing with the figure, you could get it to sit on the top of the stand with no problem. Now, as I said, I'm not a fan of this vehicle mode, but it feels like the Zeta Gundam. And the reason I said that is because of this piece here. This is a shield that is deployed in robot mode. So you pull this off and it attaches to the front of the vehicle mode, and then, oh hey, the robot mode is there, here are the arms, and then here's the back of the figure. Yeah, that kind of is a little bit like the Wave Rider mode for the Zeta Gundam, though the Zeta Gundam has a bit different transformation. So once we remove that piece, we come to the back of the wings, unpeg them from the legs, straighten the legs out, lift the backpack up and out of the way, and then we can swing the legs around on the ball joint, which the directions don't really show you doing that, which is kind of annoying. Take the treads, the tank treads, fold them up behind the shins, and then turn the feet around 180 degrees and flip them out. Now the directions don't have you flip the feet around 180 degrees. I did that because I think the back of the figure needed to be filled in the vehicle mode, and I think it just looks better that way. That's just me, though you might not think that if you get this figure. So just do that on the other side as well. Then with the legs folded down like that, we turn them 180 degrees so that they're pointing towards the back of the backpack. Take the entire rear torso, turn it around 180 degrees, fold the side skirts down, fold the butt skirt down, and then come to the chest with the backpack still out of the way. Come to the section just behind where the shoulders will be, open it up, and flip the chest down, folding the nose cone up, and then we can bring these shoulders up into place. Unfortunately, this whole section doesn't really snap into place. You kind of have to just fold it down and hope things line up correctly, because this whole chest section has a tendency to come apart very easily. Fold the arms out, come to the forearms, open them up at the treads, and then flip out the fists. Now, one thing of warning, and I almost broke this figure doing this. The little flap that opens up at the forearms at the bottom of the treads is very tight. And the first time I closed it, I accidentally folded the plastic, and you could see the marring that I caused. So you want to take your entire finger and make sure you're pushing on the hinge and not on the plastic here, because that plastic is really thin. And then just fold it up and it'll close just fine. Once you do that, we can fold up this section, which will peg into place behind the head, and fold up the backpack, and flip up the shoulder bits a little bit, or the wing bits, and then come to the wings and fold out these sections like that. Even though I'm not a fan of the vehicle mode, the robot mode is excellent. The figure looks incredibly good. The primary colors with the black and the yellow just work incredibly well. Robot mode is just freaking fantastic. I just love the proportion, and again, it reminds me of a Gundam, but in a good way. Now you can armor him up with his big sword, which I like a lot, and then you can attach the shield to the arm like that, and again, you kind of have a Gundam look to you. Still reminds me of the Zeta Gundam. Actually, this reminds me of the Double Zeta. It's a very, very good-looking figure. Now, size comparison-wise, he is a bit on the small side. Here's Battle Trap right next to him. Here's a Prime Master. And then here's Voyager class Powers of the Prime Starscream. I don't have a deluxe class figure transformed around me anywhere, which is odd. The figure's posability is excellent, but it is hampered by the tightness of some of these joints. Ball joint in the head, hinges in the shoulder, swivel at the upper arm, over 90-degree bend at the fist or elbow, fists do rotate, torso articulation, ball joint in the hips, both ball joints very, very tight, swivel at the thigh, over 90-degree bend at the knee, ball joint at the ankle, and then, because of the transformation, the heel and the front of the toe both have articulation, so you can pull off some really excellent poses. Additionally, this figure comes with extra hands. We've got 2 closed fists, 1 pointing hand, and 2 splayed out hands. I really like this touch. I think it works incredibly well, and some of the pictures that I'm going to be shown, and some of the pictures that I've seen online with these extra hands also look really nice. Also, the figure's left arm is already starting to show breakage. It's very hard to see, and I don't dare open it until I loosen this screw. But this section right here is marred and is exceptionally fragile. They just made these screws way too tight where these panels are, and that's really, really worrisome. The other thing that this little piece is for is this is how the figure holds onto the shield. So the bottom of the... Whoops. I keep knocking him over. That's me. That's not the figure being top-heavy or anything. So what he does is you put this into the figure's fist. It can either be the top or the bottom. We'll go with the top. And then you just attach that piece to the inside of the shield like this. And there we go. He can now hold the shield with no problem. I was able to get it to latch on, or the shield to latch on to the outside of his hand, but this works a lot better, and plus he can now also wield it in this mode. So, like a Gundam, he could just put it forward, and then flip the shield, or just turn his wrist some way. Oh, and again, with the tightness, which is actually a little bit of a problem with the figure as a whole, the wrists are exceptionally tight. Overall, I love the look of Sword of the Guardian, but in execution, I don't particularly care for it. They tried to do too much with a figure that's just too small. It's tight where it shouldn't be, and it's a little bit loose in other spots where it shouldn't be. It's just very strange. In the looks department for robot mode, it's fantastic. The transformation is a bit annoying, and unfortunately the vehicle mode is just kind of a bad cut and paste job of a Gundam, which just is strange. Overall, if you have to have it, I would pick it up, but if you can wait for a sale, that would probably be your best bet, because at the current going price of $70, I don't think it's worth it. Thank you so much for watching this video review. Let me know what you think of the figure down in the comments. Hit that like button and give me a subscription if you love the video. As always, gang, I'm Baltmatrix, and I will catch you next time.